Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Check 99. Check 98.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Everyone's going right.
To throw is Turner, operating from the gun. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st and 10, Turner. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, watch it.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Watch the slant.
Now a give to Breida. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
We're outside. 5-9. Oh, you get ahead. Oh, you get ahead.
They'll run on 1st down. It's James, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Darnold. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Check. Slam.
This is Breida. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, Turner taking a shot for Samuel, and that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the punt, they have a long way to go if they want to tie this football game.
And when you say a long way to go, you mean the full 99 yards backed up almost as far as you can be. And they also have to be aware that the defense is going to come after them. A lot of defense will blitz and attack in this situation, hoping to cause a little bit of havoc.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it with James. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. And no return here. Where will they spot him? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And here's Turner on 1st down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Turner. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Turner going to throw again, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
Now it's Breida. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
40's the mark. Squeeze. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Delta. 40's Mike. Check. Well, hey, we're going Mike 40. I'm coming. Shit.
Turner now to throw on 2nd down. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Check 26.
Now Turner from the gun, he'll throw. And that will be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go, Alex. One's the mic. Watch one. Watch one.
In your face.
Lady. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, man, lady. Like what?
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. And that's complete to Jesse James.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
We're going to start. Check, 59, 59. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. 59,
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 1st down, James. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, it's James. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Joe Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And it's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now this time he'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 14. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's James. They find some open field here. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. And finally they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 30. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Over the middle, complete. That's Cannon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Watch the pass. So Mike's number one. Here we go, ladies. Here we go.
Darnold on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. And this one a 41-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis? And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And what a return as he brings us all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Breida. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run with Breida. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
This is taken at his 4. Oh, good move. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 13-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second and 11. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Check like 40. Check like 40. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
To throw is Turner. Throwing on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Turner. They'll set up a screen for Breida. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
First down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, boy.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made by Tanner Vallejo.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Let's go. Touchdown. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Check 3. 22, check cover. 22.
Here's Breida. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
I got you. Watch that.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
50 to Mike. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Let's go now. Love the ending. Got nothing to this. You got nothing. Let's go. Come on. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Mike's 50. Mike.
Now a give coming right is Breida. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2nd and 13. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get this down only to the 18.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Bring it.
Now a give right side. It's James. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
It's a party now.
Now it's Darnold. And this is caught. It's Parker. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Darnold. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Third and 3.
Come on, set. Get the plan. 50's the mine. Short. Come on, D. Like 50.
Here's Mostert. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. This is Breida on the draw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On the handoff, this is Breida. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Breida, he'll try the right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second